Hi, I think I've developed a way of adjusting and regulating this boss valve. This is a standard boss valve from a Crosman 2240. I had kind of problems of too much air being pushed out with the harder spring, so I thought what I'll do is develop something similar to this. So what that does, when the hammer hits that bit there, okay, this part here stops the valve from opening too much, like so. So I thought, yeah, this is a good idea. When I assembled it, I'm thinking, how am I going to adjust it with the gun assembled? Okay, so I scrapped this idea. Okay, disregarded that one, so I made a new stem valve with a thread on it. The thread only goes to a certain point, to about 13 mil down. So this is what it looks like when I assemble it. Okay, so I developed a little wheel which screws on to there, little spring. This spring acts as a little stop for the wheel not to constantly rotate. So now, when I actually marked it there, so I know where the stop is. So when it's fully engaged, the hammer won't do anything. As you turn it, it does engage. There, you could just see a gap between the stem lock wheel and the boss valve. So as you turn it, the gap decreases. As you undo it, the gap increases. So you can regulate the airflow by the adjustment of the actual stem screw stopper, you might say. It does work. I tried it. Before, I used to lose, say, 60 feet per second every shot when I pumped the high pack to 2000 psi. So for example, it shot at 900 feet per second, it dropped down to 840, then it dropped down to 780. So I'm getting really frustrated because there's less shot per fill and I'm losing power all the time. So I thought I'd develop something simple like this. Yeah, so the more you undo, the more air will go through, so you can actually regulate your airflow. It's not the proper regulator for air rifles or air pistols, but it's just a simple solution that I thought I'll develop just for myself, really. I'm not going to manufacture these because this is for my own personal use, but it's just a rough idea for you guys who maybe think of something for yourselves if you got that same sort of problem with a heavier spring at the back, with the air being lost by too much pressure being released by the hammer and the heavier spring. So this is the complex version, but I thought I'll start with the simple version, which I thought was a good idea. This one actually worked as well. It's just a piece of brass with a larger hole than, whoops, let me take this one apart. Put the original stem back in. So I've worked out the distance between there So if from that point it's about 1.5. That's enough distance to save air from leaking. You get more shot count, so on. So I put this little O-ring on there just to stop it from falling off. So if you're shooting upwards, skywards towards a tree or something, it will stay in place. So this is a simpler version for you guys to try if you want, if you've got the same problem as me. So the hammer will hit this, it will retract, so you're shooting up in the sky or shooting up at a tree with some sort of a bird, it shouldn't come off. And this is a sort of a fixed solution for air loss when heavier springs are being installed. So what I'll do now is install this into my crosman, and I'll show you how it looks like from the outside. Right, the crosman 2240 is assembled now without the barrel. There's the power wheel, or shall I say the stem wheel lock. So as you turn it, it is turning. There's a mark. So if I turn it to the closed position, there's no gap between there. So when the hammer hits it, there's no movement. So what you do is just undo it slightly. So I'll give it one turn, so it's just where that mark comes back again. There's the mark. Okay, so one turn is equivalent to 0.7 because it's an M4 thread, M4 by 7. So one turn, it's pitch per millimeter per turn or something like that per thread. So 2 turns is 1.4. So I'll adjust this till I get a sweet spot on my pistol, rifle, and it should save air pressure, and I should get more shot count. I'll do a demonstration with the shot counts after I assemble the crosman. Thank you. Right, I've got my crosman set up with the screw on, well not screw on, but the boss valve regulator, homemade. So I'm going to use these pellets. Okay, 14.3 grain Crossman's Dome Ultra Magnum. So I'm going to use the Cronny, so you could check out the power shots. I'm going to do 10 shots, and you can see if the power drops, by how much it will drop from the adjustment regulator. Okay. Just I'll do it a bit. First pellet. Okay. First shot. .840. That sounded quiet. So I pumped it up to 2000 psi. The high pack. Second shot. Okay. third shot. So it's dropping 20. Okay, I opened up more, so there's more of a gap between the boss valve and the stopper screw disc. I'm also using my easy cocking system, but I put a little lever below my stock so it's easy to pull back. Okay, where are we? Shot 4. See, it's gone up now by adjusting it. See, it's keeping its pressure. I like it. Before, without the little adjustment of the little regulator I made, it was dropping. It would have been 600 by now after 6 shots. Now it's keeping its little pressure, not losing any air, and it's still shooting nicely. I'm liking this. You could always open it more. I'll give it like a couple of turns. Okay. So the gap's a bit longer. Gap's a bit wider. So now the gap's a bit wider. I bet you that's going to increase. There you go. So I can regulate the flow of the air by just bringing the disc further away from the boss valve. So that'll give it more punch. So another shot, that should go down to 750. Nope, that's even better. Last shot. That's it. So in my case, having a little regulator between the boss valve and making a little disc, just give it a gap of 1.4 mil, so the hammer just hits that little. So the hammer hits that little piece of the valve stem, and that should give you the regulated sort of discharge of your pistol or rifle you got. Hope this was interesting. Please comment below. Thank you.